my time at Missouri Western was some of my best memories of my life, and that team was one of the best teams I've been a part of. So thinking about going back and seeing all of them and getting back on campus again, I'm really excited. Immediately into professional baseball. I think my second year, about 10 games in, I'm playing Michael Schultz right across the field and with the St. Louis Cardinals. And we joked we both had really good games that game. And people were like, "You guys must have had one of the best D2 teams in the country." And we're like, "Well, actually, we did."
You're listening to the Griffon Sports Insider Podcast, giving you an in-depth look at Missouri Western athletics with interviews, features, game broadcasts, and more. Here's your host, Tommy Rezaj.
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Griffon Sports Insider Podcast Hall of Fame series as we count you down to the Missouri Western Hall of Fame weekend on the first day of November. We're in October, so we're thinking postseason baseball, and certainly this inductee is elbow deep in postseason baseball. He is the hitting coordinator for the Cleveland Guardians, the same organization that drafted him in the 23rd round in 2013 out of Missouri Western, a team that same year won an MIAA regular season championship for the first time in history. A third baseman from Spokane, Washington, and again now a hitting coordinator for the Cleveland Guardians, Grant Fink. Grant, congratulations on all the success this year and your Hall of Fame induction. Grant himself, a class of 2022 Hall of Fame class member, getting to be inducted in person this coming November. And Cleveland, of course, fresh off a division title, the number 2 seed on the American League side. So, Grant, thanks for taking the time. And, man, obviously a busy and meaningful time for you. But for you, yourself, and your teammates to be inducted into your alma mater's Hall of Fame, what emotions does this invoke for you?
Oh, it brings back a ton of memories. My time at Missouri Western was some of my best memories of my life, and that team was one of the best teams I've been a part of. So thinking about going back and seeing all of them and getting back on campus again, I'm really excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you were part of that 2013 team that went all the way. But talking about your journey to Missouri Western, you're from the West Coast. You play at Mount Hood Community College. 2012 and 2013, you played for the Griffons. And man, it feels like Coach Verduzco. That's about the time when things are really going well for him. Though that 2010s era, a lot of good teams. But man, 2013, the start you guys get off to, some of the win streaks you went on, 21-1 at one point in the MIAA. So many good players, so many good coaches from that team. Take me back to that time 11 years ago. What made that group so special and also just so dominant at times?
It was an interesting group. A lot of guys from the KC area, but then a couple from just all over the place. A lot of junior college transfers, and we were a pretty offensive led team. We had some good arms with Simmons on the mound and some different guys that were participating there. But it was just a really, really good group of guys that loved to play baseball and loved to hang out together. I remember that very clearly. Like, we loved to be on the field, but it was a really cohesive group everywhere as well.
And obviously Buzz Verduzco had a great career, 23 years at Missouri Western, 600 plus wins. Obviously coached his last game as a Griffon about a year and a half ago, and still in St. Joe, and now coaching the Central softball team. But what has Coach Buzz kind of meant to you over the years and in your career?
You know, he, one of the reasons why I ended up there was Buzz, and it was just off a phone call, and we had a conversation. I actually remember it like it was yesterday. We had an amazing conversation. I had some things fall through with previous schools that I was going to, and I just could tell that this coach had values like mine, and we kind of saw eye to eye on what it means to be a competitor and be part of a team. And I remember at the end of that convo, he was just like, "Hey, I have a really good feeling about you." And I was like, "I have a really good feeling about you too." And from that moment on, I knew in my heart that's where I wanted to be. And then to go there and him live up to his word and be the man that I thought he was going there, and the leader he was, he's been awesome. And we still are in contact to this day. We talk here and there. So he's always been a mentor of mine, especially after I got into coaching. I just appreciate all he's done for me. And I think a lot of people do that have played for him.
Well, of course, yeah, he knows a lot about that area. Spokane got his start up there at Washington State before coming to Missouri Western. We're speaking with former Missouri Western third baseman Grant Fink, now the hitting coordinator for the Cleveland Guardians as they gear up for a playoff run, waiting for the winner of that wild card series. And Grant, along with that 2013 Missouri Western baseball team, MIAA regular season champions, coming back to be enshrined into the Hall of Fame. That Hall of Fame ceremony Friday, November 1st, 5:30 at the Fulkerson Center, ahead of the football game against Central Oklahoma on Saturday, November the 2nd, when the rest of this Missouri Western Hall of Fame class will be honored. And so many great members in this Hall of Fame class, including some other baseball flavor and softball flavor too. The 2016 softball team getting inducted, and also Troy Landy, an outfielder for Missouri Western baseball from 2006 to 2009. Well, let's talk about your life after, Missouri Western, Grant. You've now been, part of this Cleveland organization for a while, the 681st overall pick. You spend a handful of years up until about 2016 in their farm system doing this and that, and then you get into coaching in that same year as a hitting coach and work your way up to hitting coordinator. I guess how do I frame this up? What made you kind of want to hang up the playing career and start coaching? That's kind of number one. And I guess I'm curious too, what is the ultimate difference between hitting coach and hitting coordinator?
Yeah, well, I think I played 3 full seasons. I got a chance to play professional baseball. It was an absolute blast. I don't want to say that I made the decision. I think people
Fair,
who make that decision did, and
fair.
they're kind of like, "Hey, you're a good player, but we think you'd be a better coach, and we have an opportunity for you." And I'm really thankful it happened at that time. So went straight into being a hitting coach. Spent I want to say 4 or 5 seasons coaching hitting, and then moved recently into a coordinator position, which just kind of helps become a resource to our hitting coaches in our system, and help them with different daily parts of the game and preparation. So it's more of a holistic look at the organization in this role versus just one specific team as a coach.
And it's obviously been, it's the start of what's been an amazing run. The fifth time since 2016, you guys win the AL Central. You're the 2 seed, awaiting the winner of the Tigers Astros wild card series at the time of this recording, at least certainly. But yeah, I mean, what obviously it's been amazing. You guys go through the brand change, and so much has happened with that organization. Playing the Cubbies in 2016. I was in college. I remember watching that vividly. One of my best friends, a roommate from Chicago. So I know that didn't go Cleveland's way per se, but yeah, I mean, just what can you say about just being involved with this organization at this time? To have your foot in the door and be a part of such a talented coaching staff. I mean, I know it's probably it's busy, but so rewarding. Just how would you sum up your time in this organization as a coach?
Oh, it's been amazing. I mean, the Cleveland organization, it's the only organization I've been a part of in professional baseball, but I do have a lot of friends that have been other places, and I just think this place is second to none in the way it values people and developing people and taking chances on young coaches and giving them the opportunity to learn and grow and make mistakes, as well as our players. It's a culture of like growth mindset and a culture of just getting better. And I think that's what's led to the sustained success we've seen over the last 10 years, to have our budget and be constantly in the run, and be known for our development and for pushing the needle on development strategies and different ways to get people to achieve what they're capable of.
Just a couple more things for you, Grant. I talked recently with Bryce Garnett. Now, I don't know exactly when your time would have aligned at Missouri Western. Fairly similar. Obviously, he's had a great professional golfing career from Northwest Missouri. And he talked about, when he's on tour that, he kind of carries that Griffon with him, literally on his golf bag, but also, in his heart as a small town guy who got maybe passed up by Division I schools, and had a great career in the black and gold. For you yourself, being a Division II guy and an All-American, and being a draft pick, coming out of small college and junior college, and having kind of the career you did as a student athlete, do small college guys, when they reach that level, like, is there a certain work ethic or chip on your shoulder that always kind of stays with you? And how much Griffon pride do you still carry with you to this day?
I'll always be a Griff. Like I said earlier, that was some of the best memories and time of my life, and immediately into professional baseball. I think my second year, about 10 games in, I'm playing Michael Schultz right across the field and with the St. Louis Cardinals. And
That's awesome.
so we joked we both had really good games that game, and people were like, "You guys must have had one of the best D2 teams in the country." And we're like, "Well, actually, we did." So we took a lot of pride, and we both also went back to Missouri Western and worked out in the off seasons during our
Right.
first 2 years of professional baseball. So it's always been a place that I consider home. It's been a while since I've been back there, but
Yeah.
I still follow them closely. I still watch all the stats and check up on them time and time again.
Yeah, exciting time for this program for sure with Damian Stamberski taking the reins. And yeah, that 2013 team, quite literally one of the best in the country, ranked as high as number 4 at one time, 40-12 overall, 28-5 in the MIAA, getting into that regional in Mankato and winning the first ever MIAA regular season championship. Yeah, when was the last time you were in St. Joe, if you recall? And what was kind of your go-to spot in town with you and your teammates?
I want to say it was 2018. I came back for an alumni game,
Hmm.
but I don't know how much it's changed since then. But what I remember is we spent a lot of time in the GISC. We spent a lot of time in that weight room. We had a pretty physical big team, but other than that, we had some fun nights out at Kelly's. We had some good places to eat, and our Casey's Pizza. I miss that to this day. Snagging at Casey's Pizza on the way to the yard, but yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, you talked about Michael Schultz as well. He was honored, so one of many players to be honored that year. Brandon Simmons, Pitch of the Year, of course, Coach Buzz, Coach of the Year, and Michael Schultz honored as a All Central Region Player of the Year. Bubba Dotson named First Team All Region, as was Grant Fink, along with Brandon Simmons. So many talented players from that 2013 team. I'm sure you guys will have a ball, catching up and being back. And Grant, great to meet you. Great to talk with you. Even though I'm kind of a Royals guy, thanks to my guy Alex Gordon. I'm a Nebraska native as well. From a Royals fan, I wish you the best of luck this postseason and all the best going forward. And congratulations on making it. And hopefully, I'll get to see you in person when you get back. And yeah, just have fun. And thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
Yeah, I can't wait. Thanks for having me on. We'll see you here in November.